Guys, just a quick one. So, off the back of some of the posts that I have shared recently, I have been having a few people ask me about a brief for their branding and what that needs to include. Now, the first thing I'd say is I have actually shared the template that I use with our clients, with my graphic designers, on my website, and the link for that is in the bio. So if you go to link in my bio and click on free brief template, you will find and be able to download our exact template there. But in short, I'd say that some of the most important things about a brief are to include the heart and the personality of the business that you want to achieve. That is really at the core of a good brief. So yes, you need to drill down on, your target customer. So like I've covered in one of my other videos, have a persona in mind so that you can very closely reference the age of that person, the circumstance of that person, the challenges that they may be facing and how you solve them. And then it's really about what kind of brand would you like to be? So I would say keep it as brief as possible. The clue's in the name. So you don't need to be writing reams and reams of copy here. It really is more useful for a graphic designer or a branding agency or a strategist like myself if it is short and clear. So, for example, you would say, remember not to please all. So instead of saying something like, we want our brand to seem approachable, but also intelligent and appeal to many people, you would just say, the brand is approachable and intelligent. This needs to come across in the logo. You can also put in there if there's any set colors that you're absolutely adamant on using. But I would say that a brief is much more a place for the absolute core, the heart, the values, the mission statement, the USP of your brand, and not for creative decisions, because you'll get a lot more value out of your graphic designer if you open it up so that it's really free for them to offer you different things that you might not have thought of. So you can say, preferred yellow, or, have been looking at yellow, but open to suggestions. And that's a really good way of including some creative direction, but not making your brief constrictive, which is a very important point. So the other thing in there is, aside from having your mission and your audience and maybe a small bit of creative direction, is actually to be really functional. So I want you to, in your brief, list out everywhere your logo will be used or branding will be used and how so. So on there you can say Facebook and make a link, or say your website. You can say it will be used on t-shirts, because if it is, that's something that the designer will consider when they are creating the logo concept. They will be able to think when they're creating the brand identity about how that logo could work on t-shirts, or a food truck, or on pull-up banners for an expo, or if it's on letterheads, or if it's purely digital, then they can actually use some brighter colors that are harder to achieve in print. So that's a really good thing for you to have. So basically, I think that it is very tempting to skip this step and go straight on Pinterest and look at all the shiny, pretty colors. And well, if you're like me anyway, for sure, I'm so visual that it can be hard to make myself sit down and do strategy, but it is the most important part of your branding process, without a doubt, because otherwise it's all guesswork. So I hope this helped answer some of your questions. Let me know if you have any other specific ones. And like I said, please go to the link in my bio if you'd like to download our own brief template. And that actually has all the categories in. So you can literally fill it out like a form. And you'll know then that you've got a very, very thorough branding brief.